Okay, so I thought I would just kind of reopen these books that I had taken to a show in Brooklyn, and they were all nice and wrapped up, and I'm gonna just open them now, just to kind of go through each book in a short video, and then I'm gonna upload these to YouTube. I've put in like a little card with a stamp and just kind of like a general description of what is here. So this is a vintage hardcover book with removable mixed papers, a chiffon trim cover. So when I say vintage, it means that there's a lot of vintage materials in here. So that's going to be from old books, from old magazines and things like that. This cover is actually made of a cardboard box, and then I have reinforced it, I believe. Yeah, this has a lot of the Vogue vintage papers. There's a lot of textile here, so I've gone over the whole cover with strips of chiffon and different kinds of linings, and then there's just like a fun, these are old upcycled beads and charms. Let's see if this will lay correctly, because it's been kind of scrunched up in a bag for a minute. Here we go. So, laying correctly, it looks like that. And then we open up the ties here, and then once we open up the cover, we see that the inside cover has cute little pocket. There's some homemade stickers, and also just some regular stickers. And then I have this cool Vogue page. So what's different about this book is that the pages are actually removable. So if someone wanted to use them for collaging, if someone wanted to use them just to take out and write a card, a greeting card, those kinds of things, you would be able to do that. There's all sorts of different kinds of fun. This is like a mini book in a book. You know, little postcards, vintage postcards, tea-stained papers, mini kind of like Art Nouveau-esque bookmarks. So as I said, like old, we'll have to fix that. Old book pages, different kinds of like little tags and textiles. More tea-dyed papers. A lot of these are like drawing papers, and then a lot of this is also just vintage papers that I've tried to mat onto thicker papers in the case that they are too flimsy. So this is like a very old Vogue page, so I have, to the best of my ability, mounted it onto a thicker paper so that it gives it some substance. I've also kept some of the names, so this is like, there was Vogue and Vanity Fair, and there are old advertisements from both. And just an example, this is how easy it is to just slip out the papers, and this paper could easily be used as like a little note card if you wanted to cut it into a bookmark, if you wanted to collage it. And they move also easily up and down the page. And this book here has 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures. I'm not sure how many pages there are, but there are quite a few. And again, this is all like ephemera, so it's not perfect. This is from a very old book. Again, I've mounted it onto a different paper. There's some collage pieces of artwork in here. Different, you know, kinds of just papers, handmade stickers, advertisements, writing pages. I really love these, the kind of funny old undergarment advertisements I find to be quite funny. Just an old paper bag with stickers and some double-sided tape, so you can pull this down and then stick this somewhere in the book. This is from the book The Art of Loving by, I think his name is Eric Fromm, and this is a quote from that. An old envelope, and then inside is another envelope. I don't remember what I put in here. So we have just a little note card that can be used as a bookmark, as a thing. You can give this envelope away. If you hear noises, that's my cat in the background. An etching, or I guess like a tracing of a leaf. More cards. I mean, there's just like a ton of stuff in here. This is like a mini booklet. So it opens up this way, and you can just kind of go through and keep opening. And there's all different sorts of things in here. This can be taken off, I believe, and removed. So this is like a paper clip. And then this, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not, can be taken off. And then there's just a whole bunch of stuff in here. So anyway, this can go on any, like if I wanted to move this to, say, this page to make it, I don't know, a little bit more funky, so I could do that. And then there's pockets that end up on both sides. So you can easily just kind of put these things in. Let me put this in properly, so it'll fit. And then you can clip it back so that it stays put, like that. Anyway, old music pages. This one is in pretty good condition, so I left that. I did not mount it, but like this was just kind of a cool design from an old page, and I mounted it onto an index card, which is a little bit thicker and keeps it kind of more intact. Teen coffee dyed papers. This is like a little side pocket. Again, we have like a paper clip keeping it folded and together, and then on the back you have another pocket. And then the kind of the rest of the back cover is kind of the other half of this Vogue page. So it's a pretty nice thick book, but also pretty elegant and full of all sorts of fun things. You know, these aren't like let's throw it around kind of books. They do have like a level of delicateness to them, but they're also you know, pretty sturdy at the end of the day, and also pretty beautiful and inspiring to use. There is this smaller book that I have been using for quite some time now. All the pages are pretty used up, but this also is just made out of an old piece of oak tag, which I had painted and then kind of collaged on, and again, much smaller, but just like, you know, full of even just like math homework. This one obviously isn't as involved as the bigger one, but I threw this book around to no end. I mean, this has been on planes, this has been in bags, suitcases, like brought with me, crumpled, mushed, and really the only issue is just this is starting to peel up, which can easily be glued back down. So they're pretty sturdy. So I've given these as wedding, like engagement gifts, birthday gifts, holiday gifts, and each one of them is different, and each one of them kind of features different just art flow, I guess. A lot of the stuff in here is, you know, handmade, so the papers that I dyed are hand dyed with coffee, tea, some of them turmeric. The vintage papers are from 1932 and 34, Vanity Fair, and also Vogue magazines. I think there's also a Harper's Bazaar. And so I really try and just combine different materials and put them together. And there's a bunch more of these that I've made, which I will also video. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you can kind of feel a little bit inspired and maybe gain some own kind of oomph to do your own creative things. I can show you one that I'm working on now. It's also going to be a small book, so more in the realm of this book. It's made from just an old piece of cardboard. These are some vintage prints on the inside, front and back cover. And then I've put together this kind of funky book plate. It's on Japanese paper, and then an old manila envelope, and then this kind of cool cutout of a frame with a sticker quote. So I've kind of like embellished and designed that, and then on the inside I'm still working on the signature, but these are smaller, so they're usually only one signature because there's just one fold. There isn't really a spine like this one. I'm going to be working on this, and I'm also going to add some trim and some textile to this as well. So that's just another kind of small side project I'm working on, but I will upload some more videos of some more of the books that I finished and that I will start working on, and I hope you guys have a great day.